Resident Evil Zero takes you back to a time that was much simpler for Capcom's prolific series. There are no QuickTime events, multiple character arcs, or overblown action sequences to be found. Only green herbs, ink ribbons, and the distant moans of the undead. It's been 17 years since the first Resident Evil pushed the survival horror genre into the consciousness of the mainstream. It makes those of us who can clearly remember the exact moment that those zombie dogs came crashing through a set of windows feel kind of old. Thankfully, the experience would be remade in the 2001 remake of the original Resident Evil for the GameCube. Capcom made sure a new generation of gamers would collectively shit their pants. Hot off the remake's success, Resident Evil Zero would be released just a shy year later, and 3 years before the entirely revolutionary fourth game in the series that has since been cited as the series' best. And while the fourth game is a marvel of game design and truly worthy of being named one of the best games of the past decade, Resident Evil 2 will always be my all-time favorite of the series, which may be why I enjoy Resident Evil Zero so much. Taking place before the events of the first game, you play as Rebecca Chambers, the series' favorite STARS medic, who has just found herself stranded aboard a train that has just been ravaged by man-eating slugs. It doesn't take long for Rebecca to partner up with Billy Cohen, an escaped convict that her team was after.
All right, but you just remember I will shoot you if you try anything funny.
The zombies find their way into the equation, and their partnership seems reasonable, so long as giant scorpions and androgynous villains are about. The game's biggest deviation from the remake is the ability to switch between Rebecca and Billy by the touch of a button. Both characters have their own special attributes. Rebecca can mix herbs and chemicals, while Billy can use his brute strength to solve the block-pushing puzzles the series is infamously known for. Partnering up with a serial killer under already frightening circumstances seems right for the narrative picking.
Billy. Lieutenant Cohen.
So, you seem to know me.
In the traditional Capcom way, the story and the writing is so bad it's almost a parody of the way Hollywood action characters speak.
Been fantasizing about me, have you?
Which isn't a complaint, as the cutscenes help to balance the jump scares with brief moments of unintentional laughter.
Are you okay?
The other welcome changes to Zero is the ability to drop items. Instead of having to run back and forth between item boxes, you can just drop items wherever your character stands, which helps cut down on the already heavy backtracking you'll have to do. Resident Evil Zero is as classic of a Resident Evil experience as you'd expect. Its biggest problem is that it's okay with satisfying what's expected and not doing much else, making the experience feel more like an expansion pack than its own full-fledged game.
Ow! Ow!
And I'm okay with that. As a huge Resident Evil fan, I'm willing to look over the lame enemy design, which resorts to me imagining the designers turning to one another and asking, what animals haven't we oversized and zombified yet? The oversized bugs, evil monkeys, and the entire exclusion of the Crimson Heads feels lazy. The rest is still that zombie evading, key collecting, mansion exploring, and obtuse puzzle solving that we fell in love with in the first place. Those looking to satiate a nostalgic hunger for a Jill sandwich, look no further than Resident Evil Zero.
Huh?